Hi everybody, I got a question from Tanya today. Well, maybe she left it some other day, but I don't know. I'm answering a question from Tanya. She writes, "Hi Eve, I read the Facebook policies. I carefully choose content off the internet, have the option to share on Facebook and other social media platforms. I don't copy content. I share the entire article. That gives the owner proper credit. Is this acceptable?" To answer your question, yes, it is, and this is called content curation. And anytime you curate content from someone else and you're sharing the entire essence of the particular thing that you want to share, it's okay. It's only considered plagiarism when you take something and you don't give the proper credit or so sometimes when I'm writing an email, if I'm sending an email out to my email list, I might say something to the effect of, okay, and I might do some bullet points and write everything out, and then I'll say at the end, read the full article here. So that gives people, first of all, the awareness that it's not all completely my writing, and they can go and read the full article wherever they're trying to read the article, but it just makes it so that they understand that not all of the content is mine, and they don't have to feel like I'm being secretive about that. But I would also suggest going and looking at MLM or APA standards at Purdue. If you go to PurdueOwl.com, I believe it is. It's at Purdue, the school. They have a really awesome program that gives you examples of how to cite things. Like when I went to college, I had to cite things, but there's a different way to cite things when you're using references that are like .gov, .edu, or things like that. But when you're taking information from like blogs and things like that, the best thing that you can do is cite that by putting a link to the actual article. So if you're writing a blog post or something like that, and you don't want to gear the whole thing around the other person, what you can do is you can link that word or that particular section to that person's URL. And the way you do that is you just highlight the word, and then there should be kind of like a little infinity sign where you can click that, and then you copy and you paste the URL into that particular word or section that you're trying to cite. But it's really up to you how you want to do this. Honestly, I think that as long as you're making mention of the person or you are giving a direct link to where you got it from, you're fine. I don't think that Facebook cares so much about that as they do about what's going on their platform, because they'll allow you to share things that are copywritten and things like that. But just understand that if that particular organization or person decided to come after you for sharing copywritten content, then Facebook is not liable. And they say right there in their policy that they'll allow you to share things that are copywritten, but just understand that they're not liable for that. And also, they do have temporary license over like photographs and things like that. So if you read the Facebook policies, they're pretty clear about what they do and don't allow you to do, but just make sure that you're citing it so that no one's butthurt about you sharing their content and then not giving them the credit. The awesome thing about curating content is that you're getting a backlink to whatever website. So say for instance you share something from the Huffington Post or National Geographic or some sort of well-known establishment. You're actually getting a backlink to them, which is great, because then the people that are their audience will find your stuff on your page because it's linked. You're linked to that particular organization. So be really careful about where you curate content from, because sometimes it like Wikipedia is not a good place to get content from because Wikipedia is not as reliable. So you want to stick with like .gov, .edu, .com. When you start getting into .net, .co, something that's not .com, You gotta be really careful. Just check it out. That doesn't mean that it's not valid, but it does mean that you should check it out and make sure that it's a valid, credible source, because as you're building your brand, if people feel that you're not credible, then they probably won't consume your content. So just something to keep in mind. No, there's nothing wrong with sharing an entire article. I do that all the time, and I think that people appreciate when you give them an article and you don't tamper with it. When you just give them the full piece of content, because you're adding value to them. Believe it or not, you don't have to write everything that you put onto your platform. And I do this all the time, where there's no way, because I don't know everything. So when I find awesome articles or awesome reports or ebooks or anything like that, I share it with, the members that are, paying for that service. So keep doing what you're doing. You're doing fine. Don't worry. And I will check out some of your content because I'm curious. I'm really proud of you, Tanya. So go ahead and keep doing your thing, girl, and I will talk to you soon.